You and your fellow House impeachment managers wanted to call Republican Congresswoman Herrera Butler from Washington State as a witness to describe Kevin McCarthy's call with Trump, in which the president effectively sided with the terrorists while the attack was going on. Take a listen. This is what she told a town hall.
He said, well, Kevin, these aren't my people. You know, these are Antifa. And Kevin responded and said, no, they're your people. You need to call them off. And the president's response to Kevin, to me, was chilling. He said, well, Kevin, I guess they're just more upset about the election, theft than you are.
I mean, siding with the terrorists while they were attacking the Capitol. You also wanted to subpoena her notes of that call. But ultimately, Democrats did neither of those things and accepted the public statement she'd made. Why did you back down?
I think we didn't back down. I think what we did was we got what we wanted, which was her statement, which was what she said, and had it put into the record. And being able to say it on the record out loud so that others would hear. Just so the American public is aware, witnesses in a Senate hearing do not come and stand before the senators and make any statements. It's a deposition, it's videotaped, and that is brought before the Senate. So I know that people are feeling a lot of angst and believe that maybe if we had this, the senators would have done what we wanted. But listen, we didn't need more witnesses. We needed more senators with spines.
Why do you think you didn't need more witnesses? I mean, I think there are a lot of people out there who think, wow, I really would have liked to have known from somebody next to Trump or from whomever what was going on at that moment. There were unanswered questions. I mean, ones that Trump's lawyers could have answered but chose not to. Were you being pressured by Senate Democrats because they wanted to get on with confirmations in the COVID relief bill?
Well, one, we did have eyewitnesses. Remember, there were 3 police officers who gave their testimony by video during the hearing. To have individuals who were close to the senator, close to the president, former president, testify would have required subpoenas. Recall that we're still in court fighting over the McCann testimony being admitted into the first impeachment trial. That's a year later. We still do not have his testimony that we wanted. And we knew that these were hostile witnesses. They were not going to testify. Has anybody even heard from Vice President Pence? The man tried to assassinate him, and he still hasn't come forward.
So, but was the idea, though, we just can't drag this out anymore because we've got other stuff to do?
I think the idea was we had sufficient evidence to prove that the president did what we said he did, which was incite an insurrection to overthrow our government, to retain power for himself. And there was overwhelming evidence of that. I think that all Americans, when we rested our case, believed that we had proved our case. And the nonsense that the defense put out did not dispute that. As you heard from Mitch McConnell, his closing statement was what we said. He agreed with us. Yeah. They all agreed. They just decided that they wanted to give him a walk, and they found a technicality that they created to do so.